Randall David "Randy" Johnson, nicknamed the Big Unit, is a retired American professional baseball player. A left-handed pitcher, Johnson played in Major League Baseball for 22 seasons, in which he played for the Montreal Expos, Seattle Mariners, Houston Astros, Arizona Diamondbacks, New York Yankees, and San Francisco Giants. Johnson is a member of the 300-win club and the 3,000 strikeout club. The 6'10" Johnson was celebrated for having one of the most dominant fastballs in the game. He regularly approached, and occasionally exceeded, 100 miles per hour during his prime. He also threw a hard, biting slider. Johnson won the Cy Young Award 5 times, second only to Roger Clemens 7. He pitched 2 no-hitters, the second of which was the 17th perfect game in baseball history. Johnson finished his career first in strikeouts per 9 innings pitched among starting pitchers, second all-time in total strikeouts, third in hit batsmen, 10th in fewest hits allowed per 9 innings pitched, 22nd in wins, and 57th in shutouts. Biography. Early life. Johnson was born in Walnut Creek, California, to Carol Hannah and Roland Charles Oebuda Johnson. By the time he entered Livermore High School, he was a star in baseball and basketball. In 1982, as a senior, he struck out 121 batters in 66 innings, and threw a perfect game in his last high school start. He also played on a Berkovich team that assembled top players from throughout California. After high school he was drafted in 1982 by the Atlanta Braves in the 4th round and offered $50,000 to sign. Instead, Johnson accepted a full athletic scholarship to USC, also playing 2 years of basketball. He continued to start at the University of Southern California under coach Rod Dido, but often exhibited control problems. Major League career. Montreal Expos. Johnson was drafted by the Montreal Expos in the 2nd round of the 1985 Major League Baseball draft. He made his MLB debut in 1988, and pitched in a total of 11 games for the Expos in 1988 and 1989. Johnson was among the most feared pitchers in baseball because of his dominant pitching arsenal, augmented by his intimidating appearance, and his angry, energetic demeanor on the mound. Part of his early intimidation factor came from his dramatic lack of control. Seattle Mariners. After being traded to the Seattle Mariners by the Expos for Mark Langston during the 1989 season, Johnson led the AL in walks for 3 consecutive seasons, and hit batsmen in 1992 and 1993. In July 1991, facing the Milwaukee Brewers, the erratic Johnson allowed 4 runs on 1 hit, thanks to 10 walks in 4 innings. A month later, a 9th-inning single cost him a no-hitter against the Oakland Athletics. Johnson suffered another 10-walk, 4-inning start in 1992. But his untapped talent was volcanic. In 1990, Johnson became the first left-hander to strike out Wade Boggs 3 times in 1 game, and a no-hitter against the Detroit Tigers attested to his potential. Johnson credits a session with Nolan Ryan late in the 1992 season with helping him take his career to the next level. Ryan has said that he appreciated Johnson's talent and did not want to see him take as long to figure certain things out as he had taken. Ryan recommended a slight change in his delivery. Before the meeting, Johnson would land on the heel of his foot after delivering a pitch, and he therefore usually landed offline from home plate. Ryan suggested that he land on the ball of his foot, and almost immediately, he began finding the strike zone more consistently. In a September 27, 1992 game against the Texas Rangers, with Ryan the opposing starting pitcher, Johnson struck out 18 batters in 8 innings while throwing 160 pitches, a pitch count that has not been reached in an MLB game since. Johnson broke out in 1993 with a 19.08 record, 3.24 ERA and his first of 6 300-plus strikeout seasons. In May 1993, Johnson again lost a no-hitter to a 9th-inning single. Again, the opponent was the Oakland Athletics. He also recorded his 1,000th career strikeout against the Minnesota Twins' Chuck Knobloch. Prior to the trade deadline, Johnson was nearly dealt to the Toronto Blue Jays for Steve Karsay and Mike Timlin. Toronto general manager Pat Gillick had two separate transactions on the table, including the one for Johnson with Seattle general manager Woody Woodward and one for Rickey Henderson with Oakland general manager Sandy Alderson. When Gillick was unable to contact Woodward, he agreed to utilize the deal with Alderson. When Woodward returned Gillick's call, he said he would agree to the deal for Johnson. However, Gillick gave his word to Alderson even though the deal had not been finalized. At the 1993 All-Star Game in Baltimore, Maryland, in a famous incident, Johnson threw a fastball over the head of Philadelphia Phillies first baseman John Kruk. A similar incident would occur with Larry Walker in the 1997 All-Star Game. After pitching well in the strike-shortened 1994 season, Johnson won the American League Cy Young Award in 1995 with an 18-2 record, 2.48 ERA and 294 strikeouts. His .900 winning percentage was the second highest in AL history, behind Johnny Allen, who had gone 15-1 for the Cleveland Indians in 1937. Johnson, who also finished second in the 1993 and 1997 Cy Young voting, and third in 1994, was the first Seattle Mariners pitcher to win the award, and the only one until far copyright Lix Hernandez took home the honor in 2010. Johnson capped the Mariners' late-season comeback by pitching a three-hitter in the AL West's one-game playoff, crashing the California Angels' hopes with 12 strikeouts. Thus unable to start in the five-game ALDS series against the Yankees until the third game, Johnson watched as New York took a 2-0 series lead. Johnson beat the Yankees in Game 3 with 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. When the series went the full 5 games, the Mariners having come back from an 0-2 deficit to win both games at the Kingdom, Johnson made a dramatic relief appearance in the series final, Game 5, on only 1 day's rest. Johnson's slow walk to the pitcher's mound from the left field bullpen electrified the sold-out home crowd. Entering a 4-4 game in the 9th inning, Johnson pitched the 9th, 10th, and 11th innings. He allowed 1 run, struck out 6, and held on for the series-ending win in Seattle's dramatic comeback. Johnson posted an 0-6 playoff record in his next 4 playoff series, each of which his teams lost. Johnson was sidelined throughout much of the 1996 season with a back injury, but he rebounded in 1997 with a 20-4 record, 291 strikeouts, and a 2.28 ERA. Between May 1994 and October 1997, Johnson had gone 53-9, including a 16-0 streak that fell 1 short of the AL record. Johnson had 2 19 strikeout starts in 1997, on June 24 and August 8. When the 1998 season began, Johnson was upset the Mariners would not offer him a contract extension, given his contract was expiring after the season. Though the Mariners initially wanted to keep Johnson, turning down a trade offer from the Los Angeles Dodgers, they fell out of contention, going 8-20 in June. Minutes before the non-waiver trade deadline, on July 31, the Mariners traded Johnson to the Houston Astros for 3 minor leaguers, Freddie Garcia, Carlos Guillen, and John Halama. Houston Astros. Upon arriving in Houston, Johnson caught fire. In 11 regular season starts with the Astros, he had a 10-1 record, a 1.28 ERA, and 116 strikeouts in 84 innings, and pitched 4 shutouts. Johnson finished 7th in the National League Cy Young voting despite pitching only 2 months in the league, and helped Houston win their second straight National League Central Division title. During the playoffs, however, the Astros lost the NLDS to the San Diego Padres, 3-1. Johnson started games 1 and 4, both losses. He only gave up 3 earned runs combined in the 2 games, but received only 1 run in support. Arizona Diamondbacks. Johnson agreed to a 4-year contract, with an option for a 5th year, for $52.4 million, with the Arizona Diamondbacks, a second-year franchise. Johnson led the team to the playoffs that year on the strength of a 17-9 record and 2.48 ERA with 364 strikeouts, leading the majors in innings, complete games and strikeouts. Johnson won the 1999 NL Cy Young Award and Warren Spahn Award as the best left-handed pitcher in MLB. Johnson joined Gaylord Perry and Pedro Martinez as the only pitchers to have won the Cy Young Award in both the American and National Leagues. Johnson finished 2000 with 19 wins, 347 strikeouts and a 2.64 ERA, and won his second consecutive NL Cy Young Award and Warren Spahn Award. The Diamondbacks acquired Curt Schilling from the Philadelphia Phillies in July 2000, and the two aces anchored the Diamondbacks' rotation. In the fourth year of the franchise's existence, Johnson and Schilling carried the Arizona Diamondbacks to their first World Series appearance and victory in 2001 against the New York Yankees. Johnson and Schilling shared the World Series Most Valuable Player Award, the Babe Ruth Award, and were named Sports Illustrated magazine's 2001 Sportsman of the Year. For the first of two consecutive seasons, Johnson and Schilling finished 1-2 in the Cy Young balloting. Johnson also won his third consecutive Warren Spahn Award. Johnson's performance was particularly dominating, striking out 11 in a 3-hit shutout in Game 2, pitching 7 innings for the victory in Game 6 and then coming on in relief the following day to pick up the win in Game 7. Of Arizona's 11 postseason wins in 2001, Johnson had 5. Johnson's Game 7 relief appearance was his second of the 2001 season. On July 19, a game against the Padres was delayed by 2 electrical explosions in Qualcomm Stadium. When the game resumed the following day, Johnson stepped in as the new pitcher and racked up 16 strikeouts in 7 innings, technically setting the record for the most strikeouts in a relief stint. In a freak accident on March 24, 2001, during the 7th inning of the spring training game against the San Francisco Giants, Johnson threw a fastball that struck and killed a dove. The bird swooped across the infield just as Johnson was releasing the ball. After being struck by the pitch, the bird landed dead amid a sea of feathers. The official call was no pitch. Johnson struck out 20 batters in a game on May 8, 2001 against the Cincinnati Reds. Johnson recorded all 20 strikeouts in the first 9 innings, but because the game went into extra innings, it was not categorized by MLB as an official 20-strikeout game. On August 23, 2001, Johnson struck out 3 batters on 9 pitches in the 6th inning of a 5-1 loss to the Pittsburgh Pirates, becoming the 30th pitcher in Major League history to pitch an immaculate inning. In 2002, Johnson won the pitching Triple Crown, leading the NL in wins, ERA and strikeouts, and was voted his 4th consecutive Cy Young and Warren Spahn Awards. It was Johnson's 4th consecutive 300-strikeout season, a record. He also became the first pitcher in baseball history to post a 24-5 record. Johnson spent the majority of the 2003 season on the disabled list and was ineffective in the few injury-hampered starts he did make. One thing he did accomplish that year was hit his first career home run in a September 19, 2003 game against the Milwaukee Brewers. It was the only home run to date for Johnson, a career .125 hitter. On May 18, 2004, Johnson pitched the 17th perfect game in baseball history. At 40 years of age, he was the oldest pitcher to accomplish this feat. Johnson had 13 strikeouts on his way to a 2-0 defeat of the Atlanta Braves. The perfect game made him the 5th pitcher in Major League history to pitch a no-hitter in both leagues. Johnson struck out Jeff Cirillo of the San Diego Padres on June 29, 2004 to become only the 4th MLB player to reach 4,000 strikeouts in a career. He finished the 2004 season with a 16-14 record, though his poor record was partially due to a lack of run support. Johnson led the major leagues in strikeouts. In the games where Arizona scored 3 or more runs, Johnson was 13-2. As his team only won 51 games that year, his ratio of winning 31.3% of his team's games was the highest for any starting pitcher since Steve Carlton in 1972. New York Yankees. The Diamondbacks traded Johnson to the New York Yankees for Javier Vazquez, Brad Halsey, Dioner Navarro, and cash in January 2005. Johnson pitched opening day for the Yankees on April 3, 2005 against the Boston Red Sox. Johnson was inconsistent through 2005, allowing 32 home runs. However, he regained his dominance in late 2005. He was 5-0 against the Yankees' division rival Red Sox and finished the season 17-8 with a 3.79 ERA, and was second in the AL with 211 strikeouts. In 2005, The Sporting News published an update of their 1999 book Baseball's 100 Greatest Players. Johnson did not make the original edition, but for the 2005 update, with his career totals considerably higher and his 2001 World Championship season taken into account, he was ranked at number 60. Johnson was a disappointment in Game 3 of the 2005 Division Series against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, allowing 5 runs on 2 home runs in 3 innings. In Game 5 in Anaheim, Johnson made an effective relief appearance after Mike Mussina gave up 5 runs and 6 hits to give the Angels a 5-2 lead, but the Yankees were unable to come back in the series. After an inconclusive year-end pinstripes, New York fans hoped that Johnson would return to his dominant style in his second Yankee season. Johnson began 2006 well, but then he struggled to find form. In between some impressive performances, he allowed 5 or more runs in 7 of his first 18 starts for the season. Johnson was more effective in the second half. Johnson finished the season with a 17-11 record, a subpar 5.00 ERA with 172 strikeouts. It had been revealed at the end of the 2006 season that a herniated disc in Johnson's back had been stiffening him, and it was only in his second-to-last start of the season that he decided to get it checked. This exposure had caused him to miss his last start of 2006. After being given epidural anesthesia and a few bullpen sessions, he was cleared to start in Game 3 of the ALDS, however he gave up 5 runs in 52-3 innings. Second stint with the Arizona Diamondbacks. In January 2007, the Yankees traded Johnson back to the Diamondbacks, almost 2 years to the day that Arizona had traded him to New York, for a package of Luis Vizcaino, Alberto Gonzalez, Steven Jackson, and Ross Ollendorf. The Yankees' decision to trade Johnson was primarily based on his preseason request to be traded after the death of his brother. Yankees general manager Brian Cashman was very sympathetic to Johnson's grief and agreed to trade him back to the Diamondbacks so that Johnson could be closer to his family in Phoenix. Johnson missed most of April, rehabilitating his injured back before returning on April 24, 2007. Johnson allowed 6 runs in 5 innings and took the loss, but struck out 7. He returned to form, and by his 10th start of the season was among the NL's top 10 strikeout pitchers. But on July 3, his surgically repaired disc from the previous season was re-injured. Johnson had season-ending surgery on the same disc, this time removing it completely. Reporting that the procedure went a little better than expected, Arizona hoped that Johnson would be ready for the 2008 season. Johnson made his season debut on April 14, 2008 against the San Francisco Giants at AT&T Park 8 months following his back surgery. On June 3, 2008, Johnson struck out Mike Cameron of the Milwaukee Brewers for career strikeout number 4,673. With this strikeout, Johnson surpassed Roger Clemens for the number 2 spot on the all-time strikeout leaders list. Johnson struck out 8 in the game but could not get the win as the Diamondbacks lost 7-1. Johnson got his 4,700th career strikeout on July 6, 2008. He finished the season with an 11-10 record and an ERA of 3.91, recording his 100th career complete game in a 2-1 victory over the Colorado Rockies. San Francisco Giants. On December 26, 2008, Johnson signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco Giants for a reported $8 million, with a possible $2.5 million in performance bonuses and another $2.5 million in award bonuses. Johnson became the 24th pitcher to reach 300 wins, beating the Washington Nationals on June 4 at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. He became the 7th left-handed pitcher to achieve the 300-win milestone and the 5th pitcher in the last 50 years to get his 299th and 300th win in consecutive starts, joining Warren Spahn, Steve Carlton, Gaylord Perry, and Tom Seaver. Johnson was placed on the 60-day disabled list with a torn rotator cuff in his throwing shoulder on July 28, 2009. Johnson was activated by the Giants on September 16, 2009, and assigned to the Giants bullpen. On September 18, 2009, Johnson made his first relief appearance in 4 years, facing the Los Angeles Dodgers for 3 batters. At age 46, he was at the time the second oldest player in Major League Baseball, trailing only Jamie Moyer. On January 5, 2010, he announced his retirement from professional baseball. The Mariners invited Johnson to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at the Seattle Mariners home opener at Safeco Field on April 12, 2010 and inducted Johnson into the Mariners Hall of Fame on January 17, 2012. The Diamondbacks also invited Johnson and former teammate Curt Schilling to both throw out the ceremonial first pitches for the Arizona Diamondbacks' 10th anniversary of the 2001 World Series team that defeated the New York Yankees. Pitching style: in the prime of his career, Johnson's fastball was sometimes clocked over 100 mph, even as high as 102 mph. His signature pitch was a slider that breaks down and away from left-handed hitters and down and into right-handed hitters. The effectiveness of the pitch is marked by its velocity being in the low 90s along with tight late break. Hitters often believe they were thrown a fastball until the ball breaks just before it crosses home plate. Right-handed hitters have swung through and missed sliders that nearly hit their back foot. Johnson dubbed his slider Mr. Snappy. In later years, his fastball declined to the 96 mph range and his slider clocked at around 87 mph. Johnson also threw a split-finger fastball that behaved like a changeup and a sinker to induce ground ball outs. In a June 27, 2012, appearance on The Dan Patrick Show, Adam Dunn was asked who the best pitcher he faced was. "Honestly, Randy Johnson when he was good. It's hopeless. It's like a hopeless feeling. The first time you face him you feel like he's going to hit you right in the back of the neck when he throws it, like every pitch is going to hit you in the back of the neck. And it ends up down and away for a strike and you just have to trust it's going to be a strike, and heaven forbid he doesn't lose one out there and heaven forbid, there goes your cheek." Big unit nickname: during batting practice in 1988, the 6'10 Johnson, then with the Montreal Expos, collided headfirst with outfielder Tim Raines, prompting his teammate to exclaim, "You're a big unit." The nickname stuck. Throughout much of his career, Johnson held the title of tallest player in MLB history. Former pitcher Eric Illman and current pitchers Andrew Sisko, Andrew Brackman, and Chris Young have also been measured at 6'10 inches. The title of tallest player, as of 2012, is held by Johnson's former Diamondback teammate John Rauch, a relief pitcher who is 6'11 inches. Accomplishments: pitched a no-hitter for Seattle on June 2, 1990, against Detroit, 10-time All-Star, led the league in strikeouts 9 times, led the league in ERA 4 times, 5-time Cy Young Award winner, holds the record for most strikeouts in a relief appearance, World Series co-MVP, pitched a perfect game for Arizona against Atlanta, oldest pitcher to do so in Major League history, collected his 300th win in a 5-1 victory against the Washington Nationals on June 4, 2009, Sports Illustrated MLB All-Decade Team, has defeated every Major League team at least once, struck out 20 batters on May 8, 2001 against Cincinnati Reds, 4,875 strikeouts, most all-time for left-handed pitcher. Second most ever, named to the Mariners Hall of Fame, pitched an immaculate inning at the time, only the 30th pitcher in Major League history to do so. Acting career: Johnson guest starred in The Simpsons episode Bart Has Two Mommies, which aired on March 19, 2006. Johnson appeared in the movie Little Big League, playing himself. Johnson appeared in a right guard commercial where he fired dodgeballs at Carl Brandt, who represented Oda. Johnson also appeared in several commercials for Nike in 1998. The spots comedically portrayed him taking batting practice in his hope that he would break Roger Maris' then single-season record for home runs. He made a cameo appearance in a commercial for MLB 2K9 with teammate Tim Lincecum. Johnson made an appearance in a GEICO insurance commercial. Johnson has been featured as a playable character in various backyard baseball games. Johnson appeared in the episode Control on Franklin and Bash as himself. Personal life: Johnson has 4 children with his wife Lisa, Sammy, Tanner, Willow, and Alexandria. He also has a daughter from a previous relationship, Heather Renee Russell. He is a resident of Paradise Valley, Arizona. Since retiring from baseball, Johnson has pursued a second career as a photographer. Johnson is a Christian. Johnson has spoken about his faith saying, "Theory unregistered trademark s only one way to be on this earth, and theta unregistered trademark s to be a Christian. The Lord unregistered trademark s given me the ability to go out and do the things that I do." See also. References. External links: career statistics and player information from MLB, Aura ESPN, Aura Baseball Reference, Aura Fangraphs, Aura The Baseball Cube, Randy Johnson at the Internet Movie Database, Randy Johnson video on ESPN Video Archive, box score of Johnson's perfect game, Randy Johnson video on Fox Sports Video Archive, CBS player page, Randy Johnson, countdown to 300 wins.